G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Falcon Arms MP4 Spectre SMG, which we'll just be referring to as the Spectre from now on. This is a standalone firearm with custom sounds, animations, and burst fire capability. The Spectre offers you a good platform of customization, allowing for lots of versatility and some modularity to spec this weapon out for multiple different roles. And to emphasize this, you can actually change the name of this thing by going through these different receivers. So this one is referred to as a personal defense weapon, and this one is a carbine, so take that how you will. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself with the attachments, because I want to talk about the Spectre, because it's based off a real-life firearm of Italian origins. The Spectre M4 is an Italian-made submachine gun developed during the mid-1980s and produced to about the year 2001. I might be reading into this a little bit, but I believe this particular version is the civilian spec, because it's called literally Falcon Arms MP4 Spectre. So yeah, this one was originally limited to semi-auto for the consumer grade, but you know, there's no gun police around in the post-apocalypse, so you can modify this thing to a deadly form and no one's going to tell you off for it. So being an Italian submachine gun, this thing is most likely an import from that country, meaning that you could still get these before the Great War started, so that perhaps means that the US federal assault weapons ban never happened, which means you could just carry one of these things legally or just own one of them legally as a civilian, which is great news because if some Chinese communists show up, you can gun them all down, and if the US government wants to shoot at you, well, you can shoot right back, and if they bring power armor out, well, you can just find the weak point that they wrote in for that Fallout show, shoot them there. A little bit of trial and error, but you'll get there eventually. Okay, enough dilly-dally, let's get into the attachments. First of all, we've got the receivers. Notice the burst receiver does require a mod to actually get that to function, but at the bottom here, you've got a couple of interesting choices. You can have this overpowered automatic receiver, which will increase your fire rate by a little bit as compared to the burst receiver. Don't pay too much attention to the fire rate and DPS on the burst receivers because I don't think it's calculated properly for this particular weapon card, so we'll have to experiment with that thing and get a little bit of a feel for it out in the field. But I think it's actually going to be a lot stronger in the DPS than what we're seeing here, so just keep an eye on that one. At 316 damage per shot, though, that is not per burst. I believe that is per shot. That is going to be exceptionally powerful, so we'll have to see how that one goes. There's a powerful piercing auto receiver, which will give you bleed damage. It's listed as poison damage there. Fascinating. So there's a little bit of utility in that. I don't mind that at all. You've also got a powerful rapid auto receiver. This thing has blistering DPS and fire rate, but your bullets won't be doing as much damage. So it's less economical, but in a pinch, it might actually save your life if you really need that DPS to be cranked right up. And like I said before, overpowered auto receiver, a little bit slower, but the bullet damage is significantly higher. So what do I want to do with this one? I want to make a burst fire sniper status version, so we'll go for an advanced burst receiver here, and we'll go over to the barrels, which can extend out, and the light extended barrel will give you the greatest range stat, so that's obviously the one that is going to be put on this one. Moving on to the stocks, you get this light stock here, which can be folded or extended, and I believe there is a little toggle you can pick up to do that on the fly during combat, which is awesome. The limitations of this is that you can only use glow sights, iron sights, or a laser sight tacked on the side there to actually aim down sights, but the rest of this allows you to attach a proper optic onto it. This here heavy stock includes scope stability increases, so that seems like a good idea, but there's also options for this machine gun stock, which will improve your recoil angle. I'm not really sure what that means, but probably means the weapon will just kick less. It'll decrease less angle on a per shot basis, making it slightly more controllable, but we'll go for the one that'll steady our scope a little bit more. We'll go over to the magazine. So we've got a small straight magazine. Don't really know why we need to know the magazine sexual preference, but there it is. It's got superior reload speed but inferior capacity, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you get to the casket magazines and some of these drum magazines, which have interesting perk requirements attached to them, but that's cool. This quick eject drum mag giving us exceptional ammo capacity, and you know, the quick eject gives it a faster reload speed as well. You can see the little mag well that has been built into it there, and that's kind of cute. But yes, good for ammo capacity, good for me. Let's move over to the scopes, and there's iron sights, glow sights, laser sights, which, what if you just aim with the laser sight like a DAC version, or is that just a laser sight that gives you better hipfire accuracy? Yep, looks like it's the latter there. There's options for reflex sights with different types of sights on the front, or reticules. And there's scopes at 2.5, 4 times and 6 times. Night vision scopes as well. Doesn't appear to have any recon scopes, which I think is rather interesting. Let's not go overkill for sniper status. We'll just go for a standard 4 times scope, and that should do the job. Next up, we've got the muzzles, which I appreciate you can't see, so we'll just shorten that barrel for just a moment here, just so you can see it. So you get a light compensator, muzzle brake, muzzle booster that'll boost your rate of fire and potentially DPS and may make your burst fires cycle just that little bit faster, worth thinking about. Light suppressor, advanced compensator there, reduce your range, so yeah, I like a little bit of extra range rather than recoil control, plus that's accuracy from the extended range is a little bit more consistent. An advanced suppressor, which I'm going to eat my words here, but reduces your range, but look at that damage, it's much better. So we'll throw that one on, replace this long barrel, and we'll keep going. We've also got an option for a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. The slot's there, that's the only reason I can see it, thanks to legendary modification. We've got light grips now. You can have a marksman grip, which will give you scope stability increases again, and a heavy grip for recoil control and a better bash because, I don't know, you just hit them with that knuckle duster they've built into the front of that foregrip. Interesting, that's cool. Maybe we'll go for a marksman grip here, although that's not going to help our recoil. We'll check it out. We're firing a burst fire weapon. Maybe the recoil's not going to be too bad firing the 10mm cartridges, but now we get into the material. Some of these are unlockable if you pick up the uniques. I've just got everything via cheating methods, but I will show you how to get some of the uniques. So you got the aluminum materials, which requires a couple of points of oil. Angel's Mandate, which gives you that cool COD skin. We'll see that one a little bit later. Also gives you more damage against ghouls, but non-ghouls take less damage. Interesting. Blood and Steel gives you a Punisher paint. We'll see that one in a moment. DC Guard colors, you go to Diamond City. That's how you unlock that one. Disciple, finish the Nuke World quest where you kill Coulter. What's it called? The one after you get off the train. You know, you go through the arena, kill Coulter. You've also got an option here for Enclave colors that requires the Remnants thing. You just got to kill those Enclave units that are outside of the slug, and this thing will just be added into your list. Gunner Green is you got to kill Winlock and Barnes and talk to McCready about it. That's pretty easy. Pink Menace is one of the uniques, and Tactical Black is one of the weapons that you get as default, one of the paints that you get as default. Pack colors, operator colors, again, for Nuka World. I like the operator colors. They follow the color scheme properly, and this is like the first time I've been bitching about it for ages, but they finally did it. They finally put the Nuka World gang paint on a weapon. It's happening. Throw a party, pop the champagne. It's finally been done. Great. So to celebrate that, we'll paint it with the classy operator's skin. Our burst fire suppressed operator's carbine, giving us almost 400 damage. This might be very strong indeed. We'll see how we go. Okay, so the Spectre SMG can be found in a lot of places, so grab your notepads. First of all, in the overworld, you can find it at the South Boston Police Department, located there, and down even further south at the Quincy Police Station in high-level areas, but if you sneak over there, you can get them pretty quickly if you beeline straight to it. At Diamond City, the DC guards will be carrying it at level 25, and Arturo will be selling it at level 30. Gunners, bosses will carry this immediately. Common gunners at level 35. Rust Devils at level 35. Boss rewards at level 30. Sure. Raider bosses at level 45. Vendors at level 35 to 45. High-level quest rewards at level 30. There's also drops at Nuka World in one of the Cola cars, presumably in the arena where you fight Coulter, and immediately on gang members who will carry this thing. You can also find it on Enclave troopers and cases immediately, and the legendary loot pool at level 35. We're here at Clary's. We found one. Happy days. 400 caps. Our first unique can be located at Skylane's Flight 1981, which is pretty north of the map. You've got 10 Pines Bluff just there. Preston sent you there before, so you shouldn't have trouble finding this thing. So once you find this crashed plane, go to here and then find the hidden compartment. You either need to open this yourself with master lockpicking, or you can grab a companion to do it for you, or use console commands. I opened it legit. Anyway, so here's Screaming Banshee. Obviously, it's a Punisher thing. It's covered in blood. I'd decorate this tent with your guts. While attacking, nearby creatures have a chance to flee in terror. Plus 200% limb damage, plus 25% fire rate, Plus 50% faster reload speed, improved stagger louder, and cannot be suppressed. Very nice. I needed a loud and proud one. This fits the bill perfectly. The next unique can be found on an unmarked location located within South Boston, which on the map is about here. You've got the Gwinnett restaurant there. The castle is right around the corner as well. And that's that riverboat landing. That's where you start the point lookout thing. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so what you want to do is find the Rad Barrel Yard here. And this is the church you're looking for, by the way. It's that one. It's got a little cellar out the side, so go down there. Once inside, be prepared to encounter many zombie dudes and ghouls, and you've got the perfect weapon to do that with. So it's a little gun, but it has a long barrel, like my college roommate. Deals mixed damage and sets targets on fire for 15 points of damage. Bullets bounce twice. Fixed short range, plus 50% damage against ghouls, and minus 25% to non-ghouls. And yeah, it's got that cool paint called St. Elmo's Fire, and a cool taped dual mag there. It's not taped, actually. It's like a proper clamp setup. And hello, ghouls. Anyone know here? They are. And there you go. There's the bullets bouncing. Very cool. The last unique is supposed to be carried by a cricket, but there's no reference to actually put that in an inventory in the creation kit. So we have to go to QA Smoke, the cheating test cell, and you'll find the Spectre debug in here. We'll just pick up one of these Tiny Tina style thingers from out of this thing, and then we'll be on our way. And there it is, Tina's Bitchin' Tea Party. You're cordially invited, shorty. Deals extra acid damage over time that reduces damage resistance, kind of like corrosive, I suppose. Deals 100% extra damage against robots. Dying organic targets will explode and leave a pool of acid. Very cool. That's a nice creative legendary effect. And I'm glad that I got it from a chest rather than quirky Chungus Cricket. She can go die in a hole. Alrighty, here we are finally outside the Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our Operator's Carbine in first person. And check out that hipfire accuracy. It is immaculate, pinpoint accurate. Can't say the same for the scope sway though, because this is normal scope sway, and if I crouch, even with the attachments like the stock to reduce the scope sway, it's still giving me a ton. So you gotta hold your breath with this one because it's not very steady. So here's the Operator's one, and in third person, it looks like this. There's a reload animation in third person as well. Check out those casings spraying everywhere. Be careful not to catch one of those. Anyway, so here is the second one. This one's got the Gunner Paint LMG spec. It's actually referred to as an LMG. See, check that out. LMG. So that's the role that it's going to be performing with a casket magazine. Not as huge as the drum, but still pretty good with a 6x scope. And a muzzle booster on that. So it's going to be firing very, very fast indeed. But it gets faster. Here is, I believe it's Screaming Banshee. Yes, it is. It's the Punisher's gun. I've got a 120 round drum on this thing, and look how fast you get through it. So fast. So we'll be going through our 10mm very, very fast with this thing, but it's like firing a minigun. It's like a pocket minigun, and then the recoil is there to sort of suit, but I've kept the stock off it because, I don't know, I feel like this was the right way to go with this thing. So yeah, having a quick look at this thing. You can see that little Punisher skull there. Very, very nice indeed. Next, we've got the M115 Reflector. No, Beam Reflexor is the weapon from Jak 3, the cheese gun. Anyway, so, yeah, I've got a burst receiver on this thing. It looks like the range on this thing isn't great. I don't even think I'm hitting that car from back here. So, yeah, I don't know if it's like piggybacking off the Tesla rifle mechanics, because your bullets sort of fizzle out over a distance, or your electricity just sort of stops moving forward after a certain point. So maybe it's similar to that. And lastly, we've got Tiny Tina's gun, or I guess it's just regular Tina now. I've given it the reflex sight with the spider reticule there because it looks like the reticules from the Torg weapons, the Torg reflex sight from Borderlands 2 had something very similar to that. So I suppose we'll just start off by doing some vibrating on the trailer. Then we'll get started over here and we'll see how we go. Whoops. To make sure we hit the holding the breath thing, which does mean I'm going to eat up my AP as I'm using this thing as a scope, but it's pretty generous with the ladder sniper ranks. You don't have to worry about it eating up too much AP. So if we get rushed, we can probably do a decent amount of burst damage. Maybe the damage that we saw on the listed on the card was a per burst basis, not a per shot thing, because we're definitely not getting over 1,000, even when we do headshot them at a more favorable range. Okay, here they come. Machine gun time, baby. So this is the 6-time scope there, filling up our crosshairs quite nicely. And I suppose we'll just go forward and take it right to them. Maybe a bit of hip firing here and there. I feel like the weapon sounds are a little bit out of sync with how fast it's actually firing. But if we go over to our Screaming Banshee, that's not our Screaming Banshee, this one. There we go. You'll notice how it's, oh look, people are fleeing. I can hear them screaming. So yep, that works. I wonder how hard it was to apply that legendary effect. But yes, notice the bullet impacts. They're the same as the minigun, so you get a lot of dust and crap kicked up when you shoot stuff. Yeah. Making enemies flee before you, that's cool. That's a cool legendary effect. Great for crowd control because it sort of semi-neutralizes some of the targets and you know, adds a little bit of drama. People are running in terror of the senorita with a minigun as fast firing submachine gun, then that's fine. Anyways, so this one here, we don't have anyone to bounce the bullets off of, so I'll just plug away until she's dead. Let's see if this is close enough. Not really. We're getting a little bit of work done. There we go. Maybe we enter VATS a little bit with this thing. At a critical, does that carry the critical over? I'm not seeing any more damage numbers. I think they have dispersed too much. Are you? Oh, they're dead. Okay. It'd be nice if they stopped cloaking after I killed them, but we can't have everything. See what the burst fire receiver is like? Yeah, there's a big difference. This standard burst receiver is really great. Oh look, there's a behemoth down there. Looks like we're able to get sniper knockdowns with this burst fire weapon, which is great. Check out me juggling these two gunners. Okay, good. Now, I got distracted on the big man down here. We'll take him out. There he goes. Yeah, it's why we fight big, stronger behemoths, because it's a little bit too easy. That guy's calling the fall back. Where's he gonna go? What are you gonna do, mate? Try to hit me over the head. Yeah, it's not happening, pal. Okay, well, this has been enlightening. Yeah, well, I don't know, looking at the weapon cards, I thought, yep, this thing is going to crush everything, so I suppose, I mean, no confirmation bias involved, it seems to be doing the job, but I kind of didn't expect it from a 10mm thing, but I suppose we've got proper end game sort of attachments on it, of course, and some of these legendary effects are kind of insane, so it's doing pretty well for itself. So yeah, there it is. Spectre SMG outside Gunners Plaza crushes everything. This is Raine, by the way. We're keeping up the theme of going clubbing. So this is just a little black dress from VTOR Wardrobe 6, I believe, and repainted as leather. But if you look really closely, thanks to Atomic Widow's suggestions, I have changed the body texture. Now it looks real. It's 8K. You probably can't see on the screen due to, well, if you're on a smaller screen, you probably can't see it. But if you're on lower resolutions or the YouTube compression, it probably doesn't do it justice. But damn, looks kind of real. Also redid the face textures a little bit to make it suit as well, so Raine didn't lose the original look in her face, but got brand spanking new body texture, which works out pretty well. Also, you can wear this weapon. Works with classic holstered weapons. I didn't even use the pink gun. Okay, this time we're using Tiny Tina's gun. Oh look, he exploded. Oh, that was pretty easy. Suppose we'll hit him with the old stealth commando method until he gets close. He should be reducing his damage resistance, so we're hitting him a little bit harder. I wonder if that keeps stacking as he's coming closer. Minus 80 on the old ballistic damage thing now. Fascinating. And now he fizzles into nothing. It's one way to hide a body. Easier than dumping them in the ocean. It's an inside joke. Anyways, yeah, I was referring to Dexter, by the way. I started watching that. With Atomic Widow. It's been good. This weapon's been good too. Okay, well, if there's going to be one weapon that's going to potentially shine against the giant Wendigo Ghoul, man, we'll just get in nice and close, activate VAFs, and see if we can't bounce some projectiles along. Kind of underwhelming, I must say. Let's go over here now. Perhaps this one is made for like crowd control situations where you're facing a bunch of lesser ghouls, but as like a proper boss killing weapon, I mean, it's doing okay. I feel like we'd have a much better time with a slightly different weapon. And it looks like if I'm going in slow motion, the burst fire potential is no, it feels faster, but you eat through your AP really quickly. So I think that's the difference. Okay, I think you get the idea. Let's go over to this one. We might even get him to flee. The only problem is, if he does decide to flee, he is going to absolutely bolt. Okay. I thought we'd get a lot of staggers on him. He's not going to be quite perma-staggered. We'll just keep him at bay, backpedal whilst full autoing him, and slowly but surely, we got there. Great. Looks like he... Actually, I'm not sure if they're hard-coded to not flee. That might be the case, but it would have been funny if he just took off, because when he wants to run, he's fast. He's probably the fastest of the monster mods getting around, so it would have been funny to see him turn tail and run. Let's move on. Okay, time to fight a giant robot, and I think the best option for me is to use the specialized anti-robot corrosive Borderlands weaponry, and we've got to keep off the beaches today because we're not quite used to these particularly sensible shoes, and sometimes, well, you might just fall over. Case in point. Anyways, so we'll begin, and what we'll do is we'll shoot at this guy as much as possible and see if we can get some criticals added in. Oh, mysterious stranger has shown up. Great. I didn't want to sneak criticals anyway, as it turns out. Although I'm not going to look gift damage in the mouth. Oh, here comes the mortar fire. Oh, he's in the water now. I suppose that's one way to wash off the acid, I suppose. Yes. But am I far away enough to actually go back into caution? We're slipping out of it slightly. There's no way it'd hear us from all the way back here. Caution now. There we go. Nice one. He charged straight into the water and played himself. And now he's gone after the stranger. Alright, I think we've got him at this point. It's kind of unfortunate they don't have a more significant damage over time over it, so you can just sort of let him corrode over time to go to the death. He's going to explode again, isn't he? Right? That's a robot. It's legendary. Any minute now. Okay, maybe not. It doesn't play by the regular old rules. We've got ourselves a hunter's... Lame. Okay, let's go one more. Okay, I want to go back into long-range machine gunning. So we've got the 6x scope now on our LMG version and a suppressor for stealth. Not that that's going to matter all that much. Maybe. Well, that guy's definitely seen me, but he might be in the minority there, because these guys certainly don't. And let me just steady the scope. There's something going on there. Ah, well, there's the main course over there. I think he's discovered me by now. Okay, well, this is not a good stealth attempt, but I guess I'll take the long-range machine gunning. Whoops. Hitting the bash key to stabilize before I've even aimed down the scope. Someone's got an explosive weapon. Who the hell is that? Is it the turret? Might be the turret. It's definitely not that super mutant, that's for sure. And I think at this stage the only thing left is that giant mutant hound, which where'd he go? Underneath? Nope, wrong mutant hound. Well, there's one over there. We'll make him do a little break dance. Ah, there you are. I shred him from long distance. Check out the recoil impulse. There's like none at all. And oh wow, we're actually hit him in the ass until he got out of render distance. Okay, let's try to make him regain his pathing. He'll come around. We'll staggered him out of his little roar animation there. Come on, give me a good nerd rage finisher. Oh yeah. Look at them shredding him. Okay, well that didn't go as smooth as I'd thought. And oh wow, you can actually just remember this one. Well, that makes him a little bit different than anything else, and his head is just gonna keep rolling around. Okay, I think you get the idea. So that was the Spectre M4. It's surprisingly stronger than I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be sort of like a middling weapon, but this is like proper end game stuff right here. For a 10mm weapon, we're pushing to very extreme things, and maybe that's just the way the balancing philosophy with this thing is. And you know, being a weapon that typically spawns around level 25 to 35, you've got a weapon that is sort of suited to the later games, and it definitely feels like that. You can make it really strong, but I suppose the limiting factor will be the heavy investment in the 10mm ammo that it consumes at a rapid rate when you're firing, so that might be something to think about. But if that appeals to you, or this weapon appeals to you in any way, check out the link in the description. I'll drop it down there. Pretty much anything that T6M makes is worth looking at and worth having, especially when they're in ASL form. They don't take up any space in your load order. Just download it, have it around. You might forget about installing the mod one day and come across it in a new playthrough, and bam, you found yourself a weapon worth taking to the end game on the 10mm. So long 10mm pistols, because it is definitely over. And oh, there she goes again. Good job. Okay, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. And where's that shadow coming from? There's a very strong shadow, a bit of a wind happening at the moment. Yeah. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Why are you still here, bro? You can go home now.